workout for today. This is another body weight workout. The only thing you're going to need is an exercise mat or a yoga mat. If you don't have a mat, maybe a towel will work. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you might not need anything at all. This workout is going to take us exactly 30 minutes. We're on intervals today, so my timer is set for 15-second rest intervals, 45-second work intervals, times 30 rounds. We're going to be going through a circuit of 15 exercises twice. So since there are so many different exercises, I'm not going to take the time to explain and demonstrate each of the exercises individually before we begin because it will just take too long. So as always, if you need help with beginner modifications or if you're unclear on how to do any of these exercises with the correct form, I'm right here to help. So please just ask. I'm going to do my best to just walk you through the exercises as we're going, but the first 5 exercises are going to be squat variations. So I do want to take a couple of minutes to talk about the proper form for your squat before we begin the workout. It's just really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin so that you reduce your risk of injury and so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. So the first thing I want you to do before you even begin your squat is to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So shoulders back and down and chest lifted high. Okay, so back meaning that you want to kind of feel like you're pinching your shoulder blades together, and down meaning away from the ears. So if you're like me and you're always walking around like this, push the shoulders down, push them back, like you're trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets, okay? The next thing I want you to visualize is trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. If you think of your squat as going straight down, then what's going to happen is your knees are going to end up over your toes. That's bad for your knees. You really could hurt yourself that way. We don't want that. So instead, I want you to try to think of touching that wall behind you with your booty. So really stick that booty back as far as you can. And then look what happens. That helps me keep the weight in my heels and it helps me keep my back flat, which is what we want. So then from this position is where you want to think of sinking down into your squat, okay? So always keeping your back flat and the weight in your heels. And then press the ground away. So actively push your heels into the ground, press the ground away, and return to your standing position, okay? Shoulders back and down. Chest is high, core is engaged, push the booty back. Flat back, weight in the heels as you sink down into your squat. Now push your ground away and stand. That's a basic air squat, but those principles are going to apply to any squat variation, and we are starting with 5 different squat variations. It's gonna be brutal. These are long work intervals, so I want you to just do your best, but please remember that if you are working out along with the video, to mind your form and to go at your own pace. You do want to try to fit in as many reps as you can during each work interval, but not at the expense of your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed and just do your best. And now if you are ready to start this workout, go ahead and grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. Take a minute to make sure you're good and warmed up, and when you are ready, let's get started. All right, here we go, starting with a 15-second rest interval. The first exercise, we're just going to sink into our squat and then hold. So shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, core is engaged. Tighten up those abs, push the booty back, flat back, weight in the heels, sink down into your squat and just hold. 45 seconds is a long time to do this, so do your best, okay? Try to see if you can stay in this position, holding your squat for 45 seconds without coming up to give your quads a rest, and your core honestly should be on fire if you're doing this correctly. But obviously, if you cannot hold this for the entire 45 seconds, then you'll come up, shake it out, just shake the legs out, take a few seconds to breathe, and then get right back into it as soon as you can. I have no idea if I'm going to be successful holding this for 45 seconds without taking a break, but I'm doing my best. Here we go. Okay, 15 seconds rest. Now for the next squat exercise, we're going to do mini pulses. So you're gonna sink down into your squat and then you're just gonna pulse. So again, shoulders are back and down, chest is high, sink into your squat, and then just pulse. So doing your best to get your thighs parallel to the ground. Make sure the weight is in your heels. Make sure your back is flat. Keeping your core engaged. Don't let your shoulders creep up by your ears. Remember, step one is to feel like you are tucking your shoulders into your back pockets. So you really want to try to keep those shoulders back and down. And again, I know 45 seconds is a long time to do this. Do your best. And if you need to come up and rest for a couple seconds, shake it out, do that, okay? Next, we have 3 more squat exercises before we move on. We're gonna do 2 little pulses at the bottom of the squat. So pulse, pulse, and then at the top, you're gonna come up onto your toes. And hold it for just a second. So find that balance so that you're not falling back and you're not coming forward when you're on your toes, but you're straight up and down vertical. Really feel it in those calves. Feel like you're really, like you have no other muscles in your body besides your calf muscles. Really make your calf muscles do all the work as you come up onto your toes and push your body up. So pressing those toes into the ground, pushing the ground away, and coming up tall in that squat. 2 more squat exercises. Next is a sumo squat. So feet wide apart, toes pointing out at about a 45-degree angle. Now you're gonna come up onto your toes, sink down into the squat. And then heels go down. So lift the heels, sink down into the squat, and lower the heels. Slow, controlled movement for our final squat exercise. We're going to be doing an explosive, dynamic movement. So for this exercise, we want to really focus on that slow, controlled movement. Now, this next exercise, we're doing jump squats for 45 seconds, so have fun with that. If you need to keep this low impact, that's fine. Just do air squats or any squat variation you want. But if you want to challenge yourself with me and really use this last 45-second interval as a real burnout for those quads, just squat down and then push the ground away and jump up. Again, 45 seconds is a long time to do this. Do your best. After this, we're gonna come down to the mat. Quads will get a little rest. All right, good job. So that's our first 5 minutes, our very squat heavy first 5 minutes. Next, coming down into your mat. On your back, you're gonna have your heels elevated, knees are at more or less of a 90-degree angle. I'm gonna come up, touch the heels, and then 2 Russian twists. So touch the heels, then pause here. Twist and tap, the return to the starting position. So heels, twist and tap, twist and tap. Sit up, 2 Russian twists. Tap the heels, twist and tap, twist and tap. My first couple of reps were kind of wonky because I was chit-chatting. And hopefully you got it. Next, come down onto your belly. We're gonna do chest lift. So lift your feet off the mat, extend the arms out in front of you. Bend the elbows, lift the chest. Now bring the arms behind you, clasp the hands. and lift again. So lifting the chest as high off the mat as you can, both times. Clasping the hands. So working on a little bit of shoulder mobility as well, a little bit of back, and a lot of core strength with this exercise. Chest lift, clasp the hands. All right. Onto the back again, we're gonna work glutes and abs. So we're gonna do single leg glute bridge raises. So start by lifting one leg, the other knee is bent. Press the standing heel to the mat, lift your hips, squeeze the glutes, then lower the hips, controlling the movement on the way down. Oh, I'm messing this up so bad. All right, let me just show you a couple of breaths without trying to talk, because my brain's a little fried. We're gonna repeat this on the other side with the next work interval, so hopefully by then I'll gotten it together. I think I'm still recovering from my blood donation. My brain's still a little loopy. So lift one leg, the other knee is bent, foot is flat on the mat. You're gonna press the ground away with this foot. Lift the hips as high as you can. Squeeze the glutes. Now lower this leg, lift it back up. Lower your hips, controlling the movement on the way down. Then reach up and touch the toes. So, lift the hips, lower and lift the leg, lower the hips, touch the toes. I don't know why it's so hard to talk through this one. Maybe it's just me. Or like I said, maybe it's just today, because I'm gonna blame the loss of blood. All right, 2 more intervals down on the mat, if I can remember what's next. I really don't remember what's next. Oh no, just one more. Just one more, okay, that's right. So starting with the legs straight, you're gonna bend them in, do a reverse crunch, and then lift the hips, okay? Then bend the knees, straighten the legs. So crunch in, hip lift. Crunch the knees in, lift the hips, bend the knees, straighten the legs. So with this one, imagine right here that you are trying to make an imprint in the ceiling with the bottom of your shoes. So lifting those hips straight up, trying to touch the ceiling with the bottom of the shoes. That was 5 exercises down here, right? I hope so. My brain is fried. All right, next is gonna be a reverse lunge with a leg lift and a Supergirl hold. So lunge back, lift the leg back into that lunge position, and now come into a Supergirl position and hold. Staying on the same leg for the entire work interval. So lunge, lift the leg, feel the glutes at the top, and now feel the glutes in your standing, the side of your standing leg. Good Lord. Making sure you're controlling the movement. Please don't bang this back knee into the ground. Rest. We're gonna repeat that on the other side. So now this is my standing leg. I'm gonna lunge back with the other foot. Lift the leg. and Supergirl. Lunge, leg lift, Supergirl hold. Just hold it for a second. Until you feel like you've got your balance there and like you could hold it all day if you wanted to. Once you have that sensation and everything's completely under control and you're balanced, you can go right into your next rep. Next is going to be a duck under and a skater. So imagine there's an obstacle here. Starting to one side of your obstacle, you're going to duck underneath your obstacle, and then this foot's going to come behind you. You're going to tap the heels. Now back the other way. So staying low, duck under, tap the heel. Find that balance. Duck under, tap the heel. Duck under, skater. Duck under, skater. Duck, tap the heel. Stay low. Obviously, you might need to tap that foot down to check your balance. It's fine. Do your best. Next is a curtsy lunge, what I call a dragon lunge, and a knee hold. So, taking one foot, lunging behind you and diagonally across your body. Then bring the leg forward, bring the knee up and hold. Staying on the same leg for the entire work interval. And then we'll switch legs with the next work interval. So again, you're just holding this position with your knee up just for a second until you feel like you're really balanced here, really centered, and that you could hold it longer if you wanted to. So now, switching sides, this is my standing leg. I'm going to take the other foot, lunge it behind and diagonally across my body. Then bring the knee up and hold. Making sure to work this standing leg. You don't want to just be hanging out here in this position. You want to be actively pressing the heel of this standing leg into the ground. Press down, lift your body tall, and find your balance. So you should be feeling it in your core, but also really in your glute muscle right here. So work the pose, don't get lazy. All right, we're halfway done. I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. We're just gonna repeat that whole thing once more. So starting with our squat and hold, just do your best. Shoulders back and down. I think the first time through the circuit, it actually really helped me to talk through this entire work interval because it kept me distracted. All right, breathe, shake it out. Next is mini squat pulses for 45 seconds, so do your best. Next is going to be pulse, pulse, and then up on the toes. Sumo squats with heels elevated. So lift the heels. Final squat exercise. This is her burnout jump squats or air squats. Just your best. All right, good job. That's a tough 5 minutes. Now coming down to the mat. This is our sit-up and Russian twist combo. Chest lifts. So roll over onto the belly. raises. Let's see if I can get a leg this time. Other leg. Okay, reverse crunch, hip lift. Next is a reverse lunge with a leg lift into a Supergirl. Fight for that balance. Of course, it's harder the second time through. Legs are jelly, everything's tired. Just do your best. Shake out. And switch legs. duck under, and skater. Do your best. Stay low. Final exercise. This is our dragon lunge, or curtsy lunge with a knee hold. Shake it out. Other leg. Unless I messed up and skipped something, which is very possible, I believe this is our final work interval, so push hard. All right, that's our 30 minutes. Walk around, shake it out. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee, so we have just 1 rep left to go. However, I mentioned earlier that I just donated blood a couple of days ago. That was my excuse for why I was such a scatterbrain during the middle section of that workout. And that's also why this workout was lower body focused. We were working back, core, abs, glutes, and legs today, quads and calves. So it's because when I donate blood, it always takes me several days before I feel like I'm ready to do any upper body stuff. So the next several workouts, we're not going to be lifting anything. We're not going to be doing any push-ups or really much, if any, upper body work at all. So for the rest of this week, the workouts are going to continue to be lower body focused. So core, glutes, and legs mostly. So I'm still gonna do my bonus burpee. I'm just not gonna do the push-up. So I'm gonna do a half burpee for my bonus burpee today. So when you're ready, final rep of the day, with or without a push-up, that is your call. Here we go. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. But since it is Monday, instead of a McFlurry minute, today we are doing another Monday McFlurry mobility challenge. I feel like Mr. Peanut with this. I need a monocle. I'm gonna do this mobility challenge with a monocle and a top hat. I don't have a monocle. Otherwise, I totally would wear one for this. Why not? increase the difficulty a little bit more. Have to complete the mobility challenge without my monocle falling out. What am I talking about? Being so silly today. Okay, so if you would like to try this mobility challenge with me, go ahead and grab a broomstick. I have given this woman about 175,000 views on her reel because I was studying her movement so closely to figure out how she's holding the broomstick. So, from what I can tell, and I have watched the video about 400,000 times, she was starting by holding the broomstick behind her like this. So my palms are facing you, and from this position I'm wrapping my hands around the broomstick so you can see my fingertips, right? So that's how she was starting. All right, from here, I don't know if I have the shoulder mobility to do this, but maybe if I hold it out a little farther, I don't know. So from here, we have to bring the broomstick up and over to the front. So up and over. Oh, I kind of got it. All right. So now, yeah, I know this is awkward, but this is how her hands were. So now my arms are kind of twisted like inward and my palms are facing you. Now we have to bend over and lift up one foot. I have to bring the foot in front of this wrist on the same side, over the broomstick and down. And now she kind of, she rotated her toes out this way to do this part. I have to put my head under, bring it behind me. And now she rotated her foot back forward, bring the broomstick between the legs, and now we have to pick up the other foot, bring it up and over the broomstick, and I think that's it. All right, I think that was the challenge. I think that's exactly what she was doing. Hers obviously was a lot smoother. Should we try it again and see if we can clean it up a little bit now that I kind of understand what we're doing? Oh, let me shake it out for a second. I did complete the challenge. I did it. It wasn't the cleanest. My foot hit the broomstick, so I'd like to try to clean it up and see if I can make it flow a little better and see if I can do it without bumping into the broomstick. So I'm gonna shake it out and I'm gonna give it another try. We do all win Free Flurries. That was a successful attempt. I just want to see if I can do one a little cleaner. This one is actually really hard for me anyway because I'm finding that I'm lacking sufficient shoulder mobility, especially on this side. The tricky part is that the first part of the movement is easier, for me anyway, the wider apart my hands are. So if I start with my hands on the ends of the broomstick, this is a breeze. I can do that all day, no problem. But it's impossible for me to complete the challenge with my hands this far apart because I cannot get this foot up and over the broomstick with my hand all the way on the end. I have to slide my hands in more towards the middle of the broomstick to complete that second half of the challenge. So I'm going to have to figure out how to kind of split the difference. I'm gonna do my best. Let's try another one and see how clean I can get it. So I have my hands wide apart, but not all the way on the ends of the broomstick. All right, here we go. So now I might maybe just cheat my hands in a little bit more at this part of the movement. And now from here, let me see if I can clear the broomstick. I'm still hitting it with my foot. Once I get that foot over, the rest is pretty easy, but that initial motion of getting the foot up and over the broomstick, I'm still tapping the broomstick with my foot and I want to be able to get it up and over more cleanly. So again, I think it's going to help to have my hands a little bit closer on the broomstick. That attempt was much better than the first one. So I'm going to try one more. I'm going to shake it out, stretch my shoulders out a little bit more and see, I'm going to try one more and see if I can get it just a little bit cleaner. So I'm going to allow myself to have a slight bend in my elbows just so that I can make this first part of movement a little bit more manageable. So here we go. My palms are facing you. I'm gonna lift the broomstick up behind me and over my head. And now I am gonna cheat my hands in just another inch or so. And now hopefully, let me see if I can clear the broomstick without grazing it with my foot. Closer, not quite there, but closer. All right, so that is the challenge. I'm doing it, it's just not as clean as I want it. So I'm going to continue to practice this one and see if I can get better at it. So if you try this one, please let me know how you did with it. I have really good flexibility through my hips, and that's something I take for granted, but obviously I'm needing to work on shoulder mobility, so I will continue to do that. But even though this wasn't the prettiest, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to make it prettier, but for now, it's good enough for free McFlurries. So let's wrap this thing up so we can meet at McDonald's and scarf down some free ice cream together because I need it. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Again, for the rest of this week, the next several workouts, we are going to be continuing to focus on lower body. So abs, booty, legs. This is because, again, I just made a blood donation, and it always takes me a few days to recover after a blood donation before I feel comfortable doing any upper body stuff. So we will not be lifting anything. We will not be doing any push-ups, probably through the end of the week at least. So hopefully you're wanting to work on abs, legs, and booty this week, because that's what we're gonna be doing. Before I say goodbye, I do just want to talk for a couple of minutes about being a blood donor, because it's something that I'm very passionate about. I've been a blood donor for years, and it's something that I always encourage other people to do. So donating whole blood is something that you can do every 2 months or so. I think it's every 56 days you're eligible, something like that. So somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 months. I usually make it my goal to donate blood at least twice a year. I like to do 4 times a year if I can, but I always set a minimum of at least 2 blood donations for myself every year. And for me, I just feel like it is the easiest way to do the most good. 1 blood donation, 1 pint of blood can help save up to 3 lives. If you or someone you love is ever in a position where you are sick or you're in an accident and you need a blood transfusion, it's one of those things that you just kind of take for granted that you'll get a blood transfusion, but the blood is only there if people donate it. If people like me and people like you take the initiative to make an appointment and go donate blood. For me, the process is very simple, very easy, very quick, and this next part is going to sound like I'm doing a commercial for the American Red Cross or for their app or something. I swear I have nothing to do with the American Red Cross. I'm just sharing this information with you because I really do like their app, and I think it makes the entire process so quick and so easy. So if you do not have the American Red Cross, the blood donor app, I think it's called blood donor app, I'll put a link to it in the description box. Download it to your phone. From the app, it is very easy to find blood drives near you and make a donation. And then on the day of the donation, you can fill out your little questionnaire at home so that when you get to the location, that's all done. All you have to do is show them a little QR on your phone that shows them that you have already completed your questionnaire, and the process can begin immediately. If you've never donated blood before and you are intimidated or a little scared and you're just apprehensive, just stay with me for the next couple of minutes, because I want to just walk you through the process so that you understand how it works and you know what to expect. And you can just take that first step of downloading the blood donor app onto your phone. Read through all the materials because everything you need to know is there. There are eligibility requirements. Not everyone is eligible to donate blood. So read through the list of requirements, and then when you decide, okay, I'm ready to do this, I'm going to go ahead and make my first blood donation, great. So the first thing you're going to do is find a blood drive near you. It's very easy to do on the app. Just enter your zip code and it will show you all of the blood drives happening in your area over the course of like the next 14 days. So you pick your location, your time, and your date, make your appointment. Then on the day of your appointment, you will have the option, if you're using the app, to complete your questionnaire at home before you head over to the blood drive. It makes it so much easier. So again, all of the literature you need to read through is right there in the app. So make sure you understand the eligibility requirements, but filling out the questionnaire itself takes like 5 minutes. And when you're finished, they give you a little QR code. That's your rapid pass. So that means that when you get to your appointment, you just sign in, and then when they call you in, you don't have to read any literature, you don't have to fill out any questionnaires, that's all done already. You can do all this when you get to your appointment. If you have not already filled out your questionnaire in the app on your phone and you don't have your rapid pass, then when you get to your appointment, you're gonna sign in, they're gonna give you some literature to read, okay? So just read through the literature, and then when you're finished, you let them know, okay, I've read the literature, I understand all of the eligibility requirements. Then usually they'll take you to a second location where it's a private, like a little private area, and you're going to sit down in front of like a tablet or a laptop or something and fill out your little questionnaire there, okay? So if you didn't do it on your phone before you head to the location, you're gonna do it there. But there's a little questionnaire. Again, it takes about 5 minutes to fill out. It's mostly just yes or no questions. And that is going to determine your eligibility to move forward in the process. So that's why I just think it's better if you have the app to just do that on your phone before you leave the house. So that if there's anything in that questionnaire that disqualifies you from being an eligible blood donor, you know that before you have left the house. So if you don't do the questionnaire on your phone before you leave the house, you can do it at the blood drive, but then you're gonna get to the blood drive, read through all your materials, take that time to fill out the questionnaire, only to have them come tell you you can't donate today because you took this medication that's on the list of medications that aren't allowed before a blood donation, or you had a tattoo within the last 2 months. So you're not eligible to donate for whatever the reason, okay? So you can fill out the questionnaire at the blood drive, that's fine. I did that for years and years before I had this app, but the app makes it so much easier. So I highly recommend filling out your questionnaire on the app and getting your rapid pass, so that now you know you're eligible to move on to the next step in the process. And when you get to the blood drive, you sign in, you say, I have my rapid pass, you have a seat, and then when they're ready, they'll call you in and you can move right on to the next step. Before I move on to the next step in the process, let me tell you that there is also a weight requirement. So to donate whole blood, you need to weigh at least 110 pounds. So if you weigh under 110 pounds, and or you do not meet the list of eligibility requirements, you can still volunteer at a blood drive. So I know there are people who are not eligible to donate blood, but if at any point in the process you are turned down, please remember that you can always volunteer. There was a time in my life when I did not meet the weight requirement. I weighed under 100 pounds, so I was not eligible to donate blood. So during those times when I did not meet the eligibility requirements to donate, I volunteered at several blood drives. So there are always volunteers needed. They need people to get all of the blood donors signed in and give them their little stickers and monitor the little snacks table and everything. So there are always opportunities to volunteer. You can still help even if you can't physically donate your own blood. You can also organize a blood drive. So maybe at your school or your kid's school, maybe at your church or something like that. Be proactive and see if you can organize a blood drive. And that is an amazing way to help. I mean, if I'm donating blood, yeah, I'm saving up to 3 lives, but think if you organize a blood drive and you get 100 people to come and donate blood, You, even though you can't donate, just saved up to 300 lives. So that's another thing to consider if you are not eligible to donate. But if you weigh over 110 pounds and there was nothing disqualifying in your questionnaire, you're going to move to the next step. And the next step is a free little mini physical. So they're going to check your heart rate, they're going to check your blood pressure, and they're going to check your iron. So obviously your heart rate needs to be normal, your blood pressure needs to be normal, and your iron needs to be above normal. So typically to check your heart rate, they're just gonna have their fingers on your wrist for 30 seconds or a minute and just count your heartbeats. To check your blood pressure, they're just gonna do the little blood pressure thing. We've all had our blood pressure checked. To check your hemoglobin, this is the worst part, I'll be honest. They're just gonna do a little finger prick. So they're gonna take some blood out of your fingertip and put it in a little machine that's going to give them your hemoglobin values. And if it is above a certain threshold, I think it has to be like 12.5 or something like that. As long as you are above that threshold, you are eligible to donate. If your iron is below that threshold, it does not necessarily mean that you're anemic or that you have low iron or something. It's that your iron tends to drop when you donate blood, and so in order to be eligible, your iron needs to be above normal. But assuming that they're happy with your heart rate and your blood pressure and that you meet that threshold for iron, then you're ready to donate. And they're going to use iodine to sanitize this area. They'll ask you if you have any allergies. So that's something you should know before you go through all the trouble of getting to this point, that if you have an allergy to iodine, you're going to need to let them know that up front. But they're just going to sanitize the area. They're gonna give you a little sponge to squeeze so that they can really see that vein. And then you're gonna look away if you don't wanna see the needle. And then it's just, honestly, it's a little pinch. I swear it is not painful. Just take a deep breath, hold it. You're gonna feel a little pinch, and then you can just relax. I go fast. It takes me like six and a half minutes to fill my bag, but typically, I think it takes most people somewhere in the area of about 10 minutes. So you're just gonna be there for about 10 minutes. You'll have a little sponge or something to squeeze. They'll want you to give it a little squeeze every 5 seconds or so. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, give it a little squeeze, and then count another 5 seconds, give it a little squeeze, and then they will come and let you know when you're finished. When you're finished, they're gonna take a little bit more. So the bag is 1 pint. They're gonna take a little bit more. They're gonna take 4 or 5 vials of blood in addition to that, because that's the blood that's going to go out and be tested to make sure that your blood is safe to use for donation. And now here's the best part. So the finger prick, I swear, is the worst part. The best part is that after you're done, they're gonna have you put your hand here and lift your arm up above overhead, and then they're gonna wrap it up, and they're gonna say, thank you so much for coming in to donate, and they're gonna make you sit at a table and eat Oreos and drink juice, and it's fantastic. So especially if it's your first time, don't feel like you should be in any hurry, even if there are people waiting. If you need to take a good 5 minutes or so before you get up off of your little bench or bed or chair or whatever, take your time until you feel like you're ready to get up and move, and then go sit at the table. Definitely make sure that you have some water or juice. I usually like to have, if they have like nuts or dried fruit there or something with sugar. I don't like juice, so I drink water, and I usually pick something with sugar, usually like trail mix or something like that. But it's really important to stay hydrated, and they'll let you know all this stuff, and they're gonna give you a list of aftercare instructions. There's a number on there to call if you have any issues, if you're not feeling well the next day, so that there's always aftercare instructions that leave with you, but you will be encouraged. I'm encouraging you right now, and they'll encourage you when you go and donate to take your time, sit, have a couple of bags of cookies, have a little juice box, drink some water, for a good, 5, 10, 15 minutes until you feel, okay, I don't think I'm going to experience any side effects, I'm not feeling lightheaded, and then you can get on with your day. For the rest of the day, just don't skip any meals. They'll tell you that. I always make sure to eat extra calories, so more food than I would normally eat on the day of a donation, because I think you lose like 300 calories or something like that. That might be totally off, but that number's in my head for some reason. So Make sure that you eat a good meal before you head over. So I never skip breakfast. I always make sure I have like a good, solid meal in the morning. Something high in iron like oatmeal is perfect. And make sure you're well hydrated before you head over. So I always make sure to drink a lot of water before I head over, but then afterwards as well. It can tend to dehydrate you, so make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. Nothing with caffeine. Sugar's fine. Anything with salt and sugar is fine in it. So like Gatorade, I think is great. I usually drink a water there and then I drink a Gatorade when I get home. But just make sure that you're hydrating. Caffeine will dehydrate you, so make sure that whatever you're drinking does not have caffeine in it. No alcohol, again, just because it's dehydrating, just for the rest of that day that you made your donation. And again, they'll tell you no vigorous activity for the next 24 hours, no heavy lifting. They'll tell you all of that when you get there, but I'm telling you now just so that you know what to expect. By the next day, you're fine. You can get back to your normal activities. For me, like I said, doing my workouts and everything, I was able to do a full workout today. That's fine. I just personally don't feel comfortable doing anything with my upper body. I feel like it takes me a few days to kind of regain strength in my upper body. So that's why for the rest of this week, I'm not going to be lifting anything or doing push-ups or anything like that. But like medically, I'm cleared to do that stuff. It's fine because it's been more than 24 hours since I made my donation. But that's basically it. That's the entire process from start to finish. And now here's another really cool thing about the app is that after you're done, you can track your blood. So it will tell you like now your blood is being tested. And then it will tell you when you've reached the next step. Now your blood has been tested and now it's in storage. And then it will tell you where your blood ends up going, so that my blood has ended up across the country. I think I'm here in Southern California, plenty of my donations have ended up staying here in Southern California, which is great, but I think my last blood donation ended up in like Philadelphia or something, like all the way across the country. It's crazy, but you really can track and see exactly where your blood went. And know that it was used. I know that my blood has been used to save lives, and that's such a great feeling. And honestly, it is such a small investment. It does take time, and it is, you are giving of yourself, but when you consider the amount of time it takes, when you consider the amount of, the low level of discomfort, when you weigh all that, like I said, I just think it's the easiest way to do the most good. So I really encourage you, if you're not a blood donor, if you've never tried it before, to please try it. Download the blood donor app and just get started. Read through the materials, see what's going on in your area, make an appointment for a blood drive and fill out the questionnaire and just head over there and just try it, okay? If I can do it, I promise you can do it. Even if you're scared of needles, just look away, okay? I give them my arm and they clean it, and when they're ready to actually like do the thing, I look this way and then they cover it up and I'm good, okay? So even if you're a little queasy, just, I know it's hard. So I know that for some people, the needle thing is too much to get over, but again, if you just feel like you're gonna be too queasy and you're not gonna be able to do it, please remember that you can always volunteer. I know that there are a lot of things that might disqualify people from being blood donors, whether that's a medical condition or simply not being comfortable with needles. I know that's a real thing, and I don't want to tell you to do something that you're not comfortable doing. For me, I'm not really comfortable with it, but it's the level of discomfort I have with needles, it's enough that I can push through and just do it as long as I look away. But if you are just over the top and the thought of doing this is just not even in the realm of possibility for you, I just want to encourage you to just remember that you can always volunteer. You can help in other ways. Organizing a blood drive would be amazing. If you have donated blood in the past, but it's been a while, I hope that I have encouraged you to think about getting back out there and making another donation. And if you've never donated blood before, I really hope that I've inspired you to at least think about giving it a try. At least download the app and get started. Read the materials and just take it one step at a time. If you have any questions, if there's anything I didn't cover, or if you need a little bit more encouragement, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm right here. And again, this is something I'm really passionate about. I really am always encouraging people to go out and donate blood or volunteer to blood drive or organize a blood drive. So if you have any further questions, if there's anything I didn't cover, or if you just need a little extra encouragement, please reach out. All right, so that's all I have to say for today about blood donation. If you did this workout with me today, thank you very much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who's been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. You guys are the best. It means the world to me. You have no idea. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear about the workout today, the format, how it all fits together, if you have any questions about how to do the exercises with the correct form, please just ask. It is incredibly important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout. Additionally, it is extremely important to me that my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So if you need help with beginner modifications, again, I'm right here. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. That is going to do it for today. But before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I'm not going to give you a secret code phrase of the day today. Instead, what I'm going to do is tell you my blood type. My blood type is B positive. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and commenting with your blood type if you know it. If you don't know it, then just tell me that you don't know it. And let me know if you're a blood donor, and let me know if you're not a blood donor, if I have inspired you to become a blood donor. All right, so blood type if you know it, are you a blood donor, and do you think you might become a blood donor? All right, that is the comment I want you to leave instead of a secret code phrase of the day today. That is gonna do it for today. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next time. Bye.